I'm thinking of the story about that the little pre-homosexual boy came home from school one day. He was very, very excited. He says, "Mommy, we're doing a play at school and I'm playing the part of the father." The mother got very, very angry. She said, "You go back and tell him you want a speaking part." The physical nature of the heterosexual development. See, right now we can beat up the fathers right now. Until they've become a valid minority group, then we have to keep quiet, you know. Have to go find somebody else. The physical nature of heterosexual development is, again, that's physicality, wanting that male contact, sports, and physical activity. Masculinity is found in the body. Alienation from the body. The boy does not own his masculine body. And part of the pre-homosexual condition is what we call excessive modesty, covering up. One client said, "I remember distinctly, I was about 7 years old. I was taking a bath. My aunt and my mother were giving me a bath. And suddenly something happened with the water. The water didn't come out. And they called my uncle in. And when my uncle walked into the bathroom, I covered up." He said, "Even then I knew there was something wrong with that." Exactly. And so we see exhibitionism in the gay world, exhibitionism in adulthood. It's a desire to be seen, to be reflected. So much of homosexual activity is being seen as a male by another male. If I can get a guy who looks like a male to look at me and admire my masculine body, it's as if narcissistically I am being affirmed that I am man. I'm a male. And that's really what the drive is, beyond the emotional needs, which are, we talk about attention, affection, approval. We talk about the 3 A's, attention, affection, approval. Beyond everything else we've talked about, sexual abuse is another factor. Gay advocates vehemently deny this, but the fact is that man-boy sexual contact is highly related to homosexual outcome. 1/3 of my homosexual clients report being sexually abused by older boys or men. That's pretty high. And many personal histories of gay men often report same-sex abuse. This is undeniable. And gay activists are more likely to lobby for lower sexual age of consent. Going on developmentally, the boy is now 12 years old. He's reaching into adulthood. And again, that erotic transitional phase, until this time, we haven't even spoken about sex. It's not about sex, it's about identity. But now these feelings start to come in around 12 years old. And like I say, it's going to go to the mysterious. It's not going to go to the ordinary, to what I'm familiar with. There's no excitement with women. I know women. I know women too well. Homosexual behavior as a reparative drive, and that's why we call it reparative therapy. The reason why we call it reparative therapy is because it's not about repairing the person. Many gay activists are angry with the word reparative therapy. Oh, you're trying to repair us like you're trying to repair a car or a transmission. No. What we're trying to let you understand is that homosexual behavior itself is your attempt to repair your masculine deficit, except it doesn't work. It leaves you feeling more empty, less masculine, weaker. Same-sex behavior is an attempt to repair childhood emotional hurts. Very important. And this is actually good news for the men who come to us, because they're coming in and they're feeling bad about themselves and they're feeling guilty. And the first thing we teach is that you are not a sinful, degenerate, pervert, weirdo. Your homosexual behavior is an attempt to make that male bonding connection that you needed, that you deserved as a child, but for various reasons did not fully receive. And they are coming to us because they know, we don't have to convince them, they're coming to us because they know, for them, gay sex doesn't give them what they want. And the message of hope is that you can learn to make authentic emotional connections with men, and when you do so, your homosexual desires will diminish. They experience it as diminishing. And the beautiful thing is that our church is beginning to respond to this. Not only are we starting to minister to homosexuals, but we're starting to minister to them in very proactive ways. More heterosexual men are getting involved and are willing to work with individual men struggling with homosexuality. All this talk about a homophobic church, it's absolute nonsense. I can tell you, many of the men I work with have 1 or 2 or 3 straight men from church who are there for them, and they will, my clients will act out and have a sexual fall, and these heterosexual men are there supportive and understanding because they see them as wanting to change. It's not the homophobia that that is being portrayed so often in the Christian community. Associated features of male homosexuality is, as we've been saying, a male gender deficit. Problems with assertion, being able to be clear and assertive. Anticipating shame for being assertive. And this is exactly the conflict. I want to express myself. I want to be my own person. I want to actualize my masculine nature, but there's an anticipation of shame. And that aggression often becomes sexualized, and it's turned toward the self. A lot of homosexual activity is self-punishing activity. Our organization, NARTH, we have information out there, NARTH, National Association for the Research and Therapy of Homosexuality. If anybody is interested in really a scientific, non-religious, non-political understanding of homosexuality, take a look at our website.